If you're a man over 45 and you've noticed your energy isn't what it used to be, your motivation has flattened, your sleep is lighter, your body composition has shifted despite no real change in your habits, there's a strong chance your testosterone is lower than it was 5 years ago. Not dramatically, not in a way that shows up as a crisis, just quietly lower. Enough to change how you feel day to day without giving you an obvious reason why. Here's what makes this particularly frustrating. Most men who go to their doctor with these symptoms get told their levels aren't normal. And they are normal for a population where testosterone decline has been so widespread for so long that the reference ranges have been recalibrated downward to match. You can be technically in range and still be operating well below your own optimal level. Today I'm going to give you 3 specific, evidence-backed methods to support your body's natural testosterone production. Not supplements. Not injections. Not anything you need a prescription for. Mechanisms your body already has, that most men have never been taught to use. Before the techniques, you need to understand what's actually happening, because without the mechanism, these look like random tips. With it, they make complete sense. Testosterone is produced primarily in the Leydig cells of the testes, but the signal to produce it doesn't start there. It starts in the brain. The hypothalamus releases a hormone called GnRH. That triggers the pituitary to release LH, luteinizing hormone. LH travels to the testes and tells the Leydig cells to produce testosterone. This is called the HPG axis, the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, and it is exquisitely sensitive to disruption. 3 things are disrupting it in most men over 45, and they're all connected. First, cortisol. Cortisol and testosterone share a precursor molecule called pregnenolone. When your stress response is chronically activated, and for most men in high-demand careers and lives, it is, your body preferentially shunts that precursor toward cortisol production. This is sometimes called the pregnenolone steal. Your body is making a survival calculation, managing a perceived threat is more urgent than reproduction. Testosterone production gets deprioritized. Second, adipose tissue. Body fat, particularly visceral abdominal fat, contains an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. The more visceral fat you carry, the more of your available testosterone is being converted before it can be used. Elevated estrogen then signals back to the hypothalamus to reduce GnRH output, which reduces LH, which reduces testosterone production further. It's a self-reinforcing loop. Third, sleep. The majority of testosterone is produced and released during deep sleep, specifically during the slow-wave stages in the first half of the night. Studies show that even 1 week of sleeping less than 5 hours per night reduces testosterone levels by 10 to 15% in healthy young men. Men over 45 are already contending with natural age-related decline in sleep architecture. Most are also contending with schedules and stress that reduce sleep duration and quality further. These 3 mechanisms, cortisol dominance, aromatase activity, and sleep disruption, are the engine of testosterone decline in men your age. The 3 techniques you're about to learn each target one of them directly. Technique 1, cold exposure, specifically, brief targeted cold to the lower body. I want to be precise here, because the wellness space has turned cold plunges into a general performance ritual with overclaimed benefits. What I'm describing is narrower and more specific. The testes are located outside the body for a reason. Sperm production and testosterone synthesis are both temperature-sensitive processes. Optimal Leydig cell function occurs at approximately 34 to 35 degrees Celsius, 2 to 3 degrees below core body temperature. This is why prolonged heat exposure, hot tubs, saunas used excessively, tight synthetic underwear, sedentary work that keeps heat concentrated in the pelvic region for hours, is consistently associated with reduced testosterone output. Brief cold exposure to the lower body reverses this. Specifically, ending your shower with 60 to 90 seconds of cold water directed at the lower abdomen, groin, and upper thighs. This is not a full-body ice bath. You are doing one targeted thing, reducing local tissue temperature to the range where Leydig cell function is optimized. Research on scrotal cooling has shown measurable increases in testosterone levels within weeks of consistent application. The proposed mechanism is straightforward. You are simply removing a thermal inhibitor that most modern lifestyles have quietly introduced. Here is the protocol. Shower normally. In the final 90 seconds, switch to the coldest water your system produces. Direct the stream to your lower abdomen, upper thighs, and groin. Keep it there. Breathe steadily. Do not rush. 90 seconds is the minimum for a meaningful thermal effect. You will not enjoy it the first few times. By the second week, it becomes routine. The physiological response, the sharp alertness, the cardiovascular activation, also functions as one of the most effective morning cortisol modulators available without a prescription. Which connects directly to Technique 2. Technique 2, Cortisol Interruption, a structured 20-minute protocol for breaking chronic sympathetic activation. Earlier I described the pregnenolone steal, your body shunting hormone precursors toward cortisol at the expense of testosterone when it perceives ongoing stress. This is not a character flaw. It is a survival mechanism. But in the modern context, where the threats are inboxes, deadlines, financial pressure, and chronic low-grade cognitive overload, that mechanism is running continuously and it is costing you testosterone every single day. The most direct intervention is not managing stress in the abstract. It is creating a daily physiological window where your body genuinely drops out of sympathetic activation. Not meditation as a vague concept. A specific input sequence that has documented effects on cortisol and the HPG axis. The protocol is this. 20 minutes, once per day, ideally in the early afternoon when cortisol naturally dips. Step 1. Lie flat on your back, arms slightly away from your sides, legs uncrossed. This is not optional positioning. Horizontal posture and open limb position directly reduce muscle tone and sympathetic output. 5 seconds to get in position. Step 2. 5 slow diaphragmatic breaths. Inhale 4 counts through the nose, expanding the belly, not the chest. Hold 2 counts. Exhale 6 counts through slightly parted lips. 6 counts out is essential. The extended exhale is what activates the parasympathetic response via the vagal brake. 5 full breath cycles takes about 1 minute. Step 3. Remain still. Not asleep. Not scrolling. Not planning your evening. Still. Eyes closed or with a fixed soft gaze at the ceiling. If your mind moves, let it, don't engage with the content. Your only task is physical stillness and continued slow breathing for the remaining 18 to 19 minutes. What is happening physiologically? Cortisol drops. Growth hormone begins to pulse. The HPG axis, suppressed by cortisol, starts to reactivate. Men who implement a consistent daily rest protocol of this kind, not meditation apps, not passive screen time, flat, still, quiet, show measurable reductions in afternoon cortisol within 2 weeks and downstream improvements in morning testosterone levels within 6 to 8 weeks. The reason most men don't do this is not time. 20 minutes in the afternoon is available to almost everyone. The reason is that it feels unproductive. It looks like doing nothing. Your brain, trained to equate motion with output, resists it. Push through that resistance. What you are doing is hormonal maintenance. It is one of the highest return uses of 20 minutes in your day. Technique 3, Sleep Architecture Optimization, specifically, protecting the first 90-minute sleep cycle. I said earlier that most testosterone is produced during slow-wave sleep in the first half of the night. Let me be more specific. Research published in peer-reviewed sleep medicine journals shows that slow-wave sleep, the deepest, most restorative stage, is most concentrated in the first 2 sleep cycles, meaning the first approximately 3 hours after sleep onset. If your first sleep cycle is disrupted or shortened, you have already sacrificed a significant portion of your testosterone production window for that night. No supplement compensates for that. 2 specific behaviors are disrupting first cycle sleep quality in the majority of men over 45, and neither of them is simply going to bed late. The first is alcohol. Even moderate alcohol consumption within 3 hours of sleep onset suppresses slow-wave sleep in the first half of the night. Your total sleep time may look normal. Your sleep tracker may not flag anything. But the deep restorative architecture of that first half of the night is blunted. This is not a judgment about drinking. It is a mechanism. If your testosterone is a priority, the most impactful dietary adjustment you can make is moving alcohol consumption, if you drink, to earlier in the evening, giving your system at least 3 hours to clear it before sleep. The second is late blue light exposure. Light in the 460 to 490 nanometer range, the range emitted by phones, laptops, and LED screens, suppresses melatonin production and delays sleep onset. But the subtler effect, less commonly discussed, is that it shifts circadian timing in a way that compresses slow-wave sleep in the early night even when you fall asleep at your normal time. An hour of screen exposure before bed doesn't just push back sleep, it changes the architecture of the sleep you get. The protocol: no alcohol within 3 hours of sleep onset. No backlit screens for 60 minutes before bed, audiobooks, physical books, low-light conversation, anything that doesn't involve staring at a bright screen. Room temperature between 16 and 19 degrees Celsius, 60 to 67 Fahrenheit, cool sleep environment is one of the most consistently supported interventions for increasing slow-wave sleep percentage. And a consistent sleep onset time, within 30 minutes of the same time every night, circadian consistency dramatically improves sleep architecture independent of total sleep duration. These are not dramatic changes. They are adjustments to the last hour of your evening. But they directly protect the biological window in which your body produces the majority of its daily testosterone. Nothing in technique 1 or 2 works as well when this window is being eroded every night. Here's where you are now. You have 3 targeted interventions, each addressing a distinct mechanism of testosterone suppression in men over 45. Technique 1, 90 seconds of cold water to the lower body at the end of your shower, removes thermal inhibition of Leydig cell function and begins modulating your cortisol response from the first minute of your day. Start tomorrow morning. Technique 2, 20 minutes of horizontal stillness with slow extended exhalations, interrupts the pregnenolone steal by giving your body a genuine daily window of parasympathetic recovery. It is the single most underused tool in men's hormonal health. Start today. Technique 3, protecting your first sleep cycle through 3 specific evening behavior changes, ensures your body can actually complete the hormonal production process that the first 2 techniques are supporting. Without this, you are building on a compromised foundation. None of this requires a prescription. None of it costs money. All of it has documented mechanisms and supporting research. What it requires is consistency over weeks, not days. Your HPG axis does not reset overnight. Give these 8 weeks before you judge the results. One more thing. If you are experiencing significant symptoms, persistent fatigue, low mood, loss of muscle mass, reduced libido, please get your testosterone levels tested. A simple blood panel can give you a baseline and help you and your doctor make genuinely informed decisions. These techniques support your body's natural production. They are not a substitute for medical evaluation when medical evaluation is warranted. If this gave you something concrete and useful, subscribe now. I publish 1 video per week. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.